And welcome to week 5's journal on complications of diabetes. The first part of the journal started out with 10 questions that it asked. The more questions you answered yes to, the more high risk you probably were. Out of the 10 questions, I answered 6 yes. The first question goes into explaining the results of your assessment and identify your risks of diabetes. I was actually diagnosed with diabetes 2, non-insulin dependent, about 1.5 years ago, and am currently on a medication to help monitor my sugar levels, which is called metformin, 500 milligrams 2 times a day. The second part of the question was to examine the relationship between health and wellness by discussing the impact of diabetes mellitus on at least 3 dimensions of wellness. My 3 dimensions that impact me the most by having diabetes would be my emotional, physical, and occupational wellness. Being overweight affects my self-esteem as well as my physical and occupational ability to perform my job where it should be. A lot of times I feel out of breath. I have a very hard time taking the stairs rather than the elevator. Many times when I'm teaching during my nursing orientations, I feel like I'm going to pass out, or I see black dots that come down through the air. I am overwhelmed with emotions of being ugly, fat, unworthy. My clothes size is the same as when I was 9 months pregnant with my youngest daughter. So there are many times in the morning where I get extremely frustrated, angry, and cry. It is frustrating to no end and a constant daily battle emotionally, physically, and in my occupation. The last part said identify 3 lifestyle habits a person can practice to reduce his or her risk of type 2 diabetes. The first and most important habit to start when someone has diabetes is to monitor and control their sugar intake. Next would be physical exercise. Losing weight means you are losing fat. When our cells use energy during physical exercise, fat starts to burn and the fat cells shrink. Nutrition would be the next most important habit a person must take on in order to reduce his or her risk of diabetes 2. Vegetables, low sugar fruit, fish, chicken, and turkey are among the highest foods of protein with a low amount of fat. A good nutrition and exercise is a key plan and should be made a person's main priority. And this is the end of Journal 5 for Week 5 of HCS.